Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. How is everyone doing today? I hope everyone is as excited as we are starting our first session for batch 09, focusing on agentic AI. So, lots of good thing is going to happen. So, let me welcome you all for being here on a Saturday. Not an easy thing. We all have our personal commitment and everything. So, let's make the most out of what we are doing today. And I'm joined by a lot of people today, so I'll talk about it. But just as an icebreaker question and to see if the chat is working for you all or not, let's start by talking about that. What is a famous landmark in your city? Anyone, any landmark which you are proud of or you are aware within your city, or it could be a country too. So just put it there into chat so that at least we see that you can type and we will get some more information about the places you are living into. So thanks everyone for joining and let me know what you think about the famous landmark in your city. So while everyone is saying MG Road, it is in every city, isn't it, Sunil? So MG Road is in every city. I agree on that. Singapore, it's good. Niagara Falls, that makes sense. Archives, Nairobi, that is good one. Bharat Mandapam, Greenwich Observatory. Okay, that's good. And I'll show you mine. So right now in my hometown in Indore, it's a place in India, in a central part of India. And in my place, there is a place called Rajwada. And Rajwada, if I break it down, so Raj specifies the king, and Wada is where they are living in. So this is the place where kings used to live, and there's still a very famous place. Obviously, it is not in its own glory now, but they are still very famous. So keep on giving the answers here, and let me introduce our uh, uh, amazing volunteers who are on the stage. And obviously, Prasad is here with me. So hey, Prasad, good to have you here again. And then I'll add Parna to stage 2. So obviously, a lot of hard work goes into all these, and Prasad, Parna, and me being into core team. But we cannot do it alone. There are a lot of things required for all these things. So I'll add other people who are supporting us throughout it, and it is Saturday for them too. So just a round of applause for all of you. Hey Raj, you are here for second session, and if you could quickly talk about like 1 minute, Prasad and Parna, you also like what you do, what keeps you motivated to keep on joining BeSA so long. So just a short one, and we'll introduce all of you.
Hey everyone, Prasad Rao here. I'm a principal solutions architect here at AWS, and me and Ashish started BeSA around 4 years ago, and it's been great experience doing this and helping everyone upskill on cloud and AI. It's a great privilege to be here, and thanks to all the volunteers who have been volunteering in multiple batches for us. And with that, I'll give it over to Parna.
Hey, hi everyone. Welcome back for the people who've joined us again, and welcome to the new folks also. I hope you will continue and we will do many milestones together. So my name is Parna Mehta, and I work in the AI Ops team. I love giving back to the community. If you followed my LinkedIn, you would have seen I do a couple of things, and this is one of my favorites because I have been a true beneficiary from this program myself from the first 2 batches. If you see me there, I was one of you, and that's got me to the other side. So yeah, so keep learning, keep growing, and keep coming back.
That's so good to have you, Parna. Hi Raj.
Hey everyone, my name is Raj Menon. I've been with AWS for over 5.5 years. I'm part of a customer solutions team, but it's great to work with this brilliant team of volunteers and being part of this community. So this is a learning experience for me as well. So thank you for the opportunity to be part of this team.
Thank you, Raj. And we have Kavya. Kavya, you were also in BeSA batch, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I was the first batch of BeSA, and I'm extremely happy to support back on this program today and in the coming weeks. I'm Kavya. I'm a technical account manager based out of London, and I've been with AWS for about 3 years now.
Nice, time flies. I'll add Anil also, who is joining his first time this batch. Anil, you may be
Hi,
you
everyone.
Yes, good.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks, Ashish and panel. So my name is Dr. Anil. I'm a solution architect based in London. and it's been like more than 6 years working with AWS. Been in different role, but right now I'm working from last 3 years. I'm solution architect, and happy to be the part of this awesome team and help people grow in their career. I mean, whatever capacity I can help, I'm here to help everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. And let me add a few more people. Nisha, if you're here, then we have Achal, and then we also have Kavya here. So, hi, Nisha.
Hi, everyone. I'm with AWS for almost 4 years, and I'm part of the partner program team and the technical journey team end to end. Excited to see all of you joining on this weekend. More than 1,000 people. Looking forward to support you today.
Thank you. It's good to have you here. And we have Achal here.
Hi everyone, my name is Anchal. I've been with AWS for over 6 years now. I'm a senior technical account manager here working with startups. This is my first time with BeSA and I'm really looking forward to working with all of you.
That's so good. Kavya, you are not a newcomer here.
Yeah, I've been here for the last two BeSA batches, and I'm happy to be here again supporting everyone. I'm Kavya, I'm a solutions architect at AWS, and I've been in AWS for 1 year and 5 months for now. Really looking forward to this batch.
That's so good to have all the volunteer because without volunteer we wouldn't be able to do it. The scale we have, like we have around 1,400 people joining us right now live. We have 9,000 plus registration, which is the biggest one in the 9 batches we had so far. So obviously we need to scale, think big, go big. That's what we are trying to do here. So let's quickly get started. I'll ask all. I'll remove all people from the stage for now, but they are there to support you in the chat. So keep asking question. Connect with them on LinkedIn. Make sure that you build the connection you are here for, and then that will help you in your all career and the growth what you are looking for. So let's keep going forward and discuss it. And a lot of people are supporting us, so to show some respect to them, to show some love to them, connect them on LinkedIn, appreciate. That would be really, really nice for the time they're investing and energy they are investing for you. So let's move away from Rajwada and let's talk about what is this about BESA program. So a quick recap of BESA. We founded in 2022 and it's purely voluntary driven. We focus on technical and behavioral skills also. We'll focus more on both the aspect of becoming a solutions architect, because as a solution architect you need technical as well as behavioral skills. Completely free. We do not want to charge you anything. Even we are adding a lot of good things, a lot of free things for you. Our intention is purely to make sure that community driven learning, and that's what we are doing here. And everyone is welcome. No filtration, no foundation that hey, you to fulfill this and then you can join. Everyone is welcome, whether you are pro at AWS or pro at cloud technology or you are just starting up. We try to cater to all the audience we have. Now, I'll not go into all the details because we had some pre-session video recorded and live broadcasted where we discuss about what we have discussed so far. So all these batches have been focused on specific topics like networking or serverless or generative AI or hands-on experience on Gen AI. We have done all these things into all the topics we have covered. This is batch 09. Its focus is on agentic AI. That is the talk of the town as of now. We'll have the session from 21st Feb to 28th of March. It will be live broadcasted on YouTube for 6 weeks every Saturday, and 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. GMT time. That's what we are doing. And you would also get hands-on experience using AWS workshop this time. We'll talk about it. Our learning partner is WizLab and Cloud Career Journey. So we are going to provide you some resources which can help you in excelling in your cloud career. Now, some housekeeping item. Communication channel, we use Discord, so you should have those Discord channel. Others, we have a LinkedIn group, we have an email where you can reach out to us. But the things you can find on your own on our website, please don't bother us because we have a lot of things to do apart from BESA. And BESA is a pet project for us, but we obviously don't want to reinvest time into answering all the questions again and again. So pre and post session emails, we'll send it to you. All the information we share, we'll share it on LinkedIn also to you. We'll share it on the slide format. So all the slides we discuss here, you will get to that. Should not be a problem at all on that. So that's how we will move forward. And I would request everyone to subscribe to YouTube channel so that anytime we go live or any new video is published, you would all know about it. So this is some details about it. Our session format is little different this time. We will have technical track, behavioral track, and new track we added, that is hands-on track. And I'll talk about it in more detail. But 60 minutes will focus on technical part. 30 minutes will focus on developing an SA mindset, and in last 30 minutes we'll focus on the workshop that we are going to provide to you. So that's how the tracks would look like. I don't want to go into detailed agenda for everything. It is up on our website. So you should be able to go ahead and get all the information from there. There were questions about prerequisites. So yes, we say that if you want to make most out of this session, you should go ahead with these two prerequisite playlists we have provided. So these are coming from the old BeSA sessions we have done it, and this is the two playlists we recommend for beginners as well as for intermediate level people who are starting it. Good thing is, like, we are continuing our badging system this time too. So we will have weekly badges that will be given to people who pass the knowledge check. So after this session, we will create a knowledge check and we'll publish it, so that whoever passes those knowledge checks, they would be able to get a weekly badge. And if you are able to claim all 6 badges, which I'm hoping for, you would be able to get a appreciation certificate from us. So this is what will be given to you digitally. And we had a nice event this time into reInvent also, where Prasad was present and Jeff Barr was there from AWS, and we were able to get physical certificates also to few people who were in reInvent that time. So that was a nice thing. But yeah, everyone who passes the 6 weeks quiz would be able to get a certificate of appreciation. You can flaunt it on your website, flaunt it on your LinkedIn connection, put it on your resume. That should be a good value add to what you're doing. So let's get started and let's focus on the technical track now, right? So we will discuss lots of things and we'll keep on moving forward. Prasad, I will add you onto stage if you want to talk a little bit more on all the things we have done so far and any other details you want to share.
No. So let's go with the technical track. After that, we will be going into the 30 minutes behavioral track at the top of the hour. And then for the last half an hour, all your questions about the workshops will be answered. All right. So I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about, we have registered for a workshop. How do we get access? So we did open the registration for 48 hours. Whoever have registered, and to be frank, there are 2,000 plus people who have registered for those workshops. And we are behind the scenes trying to provision the accounts for everyone to provide access to it. So we will provide more details in the last 30 minutes. But let's first go through the basics of it, of today's technical track, which Ashish and Parna will take care. Then the behavioral track, we have a guest speaker who is a director, and we will be talking about that. And then we will answer all your questions on the hands-on workshops. Ashish, take the floor.
Thank you. So yeah, means workshop is a new thing which we added, and it has lots of moving parts. So we'll talk about it. So don't worry, you are in safe hand. We'll take care of all the details. We are there to support you as much as we can. So let's get started. Now, people who attended our sessions previously probably already know that how we run these sessions. We don't want to make it a boring PowerPoint. So we do a role play here. So let's focus on the role play here, where I'll play a role of an AWS expert. I am not an expert so far, but I'll still try to play a role. So that can be done. And I would have Parna with me, who would be my customer, a curious customer, as I call her, because she has lots of questions. So I try to wear my solution architect hat and try to answer as many questions as I can. While this conversation happens, you would be able to learn about the details about how this agentic AI works and how all these components work together. So welcome, Parna. Thank you for being here, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Give me a little background on what you are looking for or what kind of information you want to know.
Hi, Ashish. It's good to have an expert with us over here. So what I'd like to know is, like, since the last 2 years, there is so much trending about, first there was AI, then ML, then generative AI, and now there's a lot of hue and cry about agentic AI, right? Or AI agents. So while we have adopted generative AI applications in our organization, and we use it a lot for generating new content, new marketing material, videos, audios, but we still are not clear how we can adopt or why we should actually go for something like AI agents or agentic AI. So I'm here to understand what they are, how they can help us, maybe some use cases you could share with us. Yeah, so all the works.
Yeah, and it's easy to get overwhelmed because the technology is changing so fast. Like things are changing. You sleep and you wake up, and there is something new coming up, especially in agentic AI space. So that's how I will try my best to explain it. But keep your questions coming so that you would get the best out of the session we have. So question is that, okay, we already have generative AI. why we need something else, we are able to get what we need. So let me give an example. I prefer to explain through example and analogy. So let's see that. So let's say you decided that, hey, this is some time coming up, maybe like for me, I'm in UK, and coming to vacation to Dubai is always welcome thing. So I decided that, okay, I have some holidays, let me go ahead and plan a Dubai trip for myself. So I will obviously now go to Chat GPT, or maybe any other tool, like I can go to Amazon Nova or my internal tools we have, and I would start asking question. On beside behind all these tools, we have something called LLM, large language model, which is a capable brain who is able to understand the question, the context, the intent, and then answers it. So I go to this LLM and then say, hey, I want to go to Dubai for 5 days itinerary. That's fine. That is a common question. I say, obviously, I would frame it a little differently. I may have given it a date, and what this person would do, what this LLM would do for me, it would come up with a very nice itinerary for me. That, hey, land on this airport, go to this, take cab, this and that and that. So all this information will be given to me. Now I'm excited for my trip. But what happens now? Let's see that. Let's unfold it. What happens after the information is passed on to you? So you reached out to LLM to get some help, right? You wanted to offload your work to LLM. It did. You did. What it did, that it has given you some information, and this information which has come up to it is coming from some background information it has, or some what we call knowledge is it acquired while this model was getting trained. Model gets trained, and then they start working and to perform inferences. So this model is now performing some inferences. So it would obviously go ahead, will give you a lot of detail. Now it has given me details. Okay, book this ticket, go to this flight, book this particular hotel, go to this, go to that place, go ahead and get currency exchange. So this is what happened. But now the list which it has given me, now I have to go to 10, 15 different websites and get my work done. I have to go to a flight ticket. Obviously, I have to book ticket there. Maybe I don't want to spend money on business class. I want to go to economy. Maybe he suggested something based on business class. I have to then go ahead and check multiple websites for that. I have to check hotels. Maybe I have to keep on looking for hotel which are within my budget or suits my requirement. Maybe I want to have a sauna in a hotel. So that's what I have to look for. Maybe I would need to download a tourist map. Then I have to apply leave in my internal system also, because I don't want people to get like no response from me. They should be aware that I'm going on to a leave. Then I have to book local activities in Dubai. Maybe I want to take a cruise. Maybe I want to go to a dinner. Then airport pickup needs to be arranged. And you can see that a lot of things are there. It is not just simple like you take your bag and walk out and you are in Dubai. So you have to plan a lot. Now what happens? Let's take a step back. So what happens now, that you ask AI a question and AI has given you the answer, and now you are working for the AI. So you become an employee of AI or a worker of AI, and instead of he or she doing the work, the LLM doing the work, now you are doing all the work, and that's how you get puzzled, because you are now opening 15 tabs, going into different places, making reservation, checking this, checking that. That's really frustrating. So we are from generative AI, we are able to get answer, but we are not able to get anything done actually physically. I'll give an analogy here. Think LLM as a brain. So brain will help you, right? So brain is needed. So let's say I have to drink water. Now for drinking water, I need to have my brain think, okay, I need to drink water, and for that my hand need to be given instruction so that I can go and pick up this bottle which I have. So agentic AI is that hand which helps you in getting the work done. If I just think that I have to drink water, that doesn't mean that water will fly and come to me. I have to go and fetch it. So that's the same thing. We need hands to work on it. LLM is giving brain, but we need hands who would be able to do the work we need, like booking a ticket, or maybe doing a currency exchange, or maybe getting a debit card created for me. So that's how all will be needed. This is how generative
I
AI
have
is
a
helping us.
question.
Go ahead.
I'm interrupting you here. So, okay,
Go
it's
ahead.
some kind of automation, right? It's doing some tasks. So we can have scripts written which do a multi-level automation. Why do I need an agent for that? I mean, we can still
Yep.
write scripts, right? And we have things like
That is
step
true.
function. Yeah. So where does
That is
this
true.
come into the
Exactly.
picture?
Yeah, so that is true, that why can't we do automation on that? But let's put a scenario. So I booked a flight ticket, and that flight ticket reaches to Dubai, let's say in 5 a.m. at the morning. My hotel reservation starts on, maybe my check-in time is 2 p.m. So from 5 a.m. to 2 p.m., AI is not going to suggest me what I should be doing. It will say your hotel, you land on 15th, your hotel booking is on 15th. So he thinks that everything is fine. Now, based on that, I may want to change something. Maybe I have to then book another flight, which will be giving me an option to reach on the proper time of the check-in time of the hotel. Or I want to now go and talk to hotel if they can give me early check-in. If that hotel does not give me early check-in, I have to check for other hotel who could provide me that. I may have to calculate the cost, is it in my budget or not. So that's what is required. So you could script things which are very straightforward. But humans, we do not think very straightforward. We are always thinking lots of variables. We have to take care of lots of variables on that. And that's why the pre-configured scripts are not going to help in complicated situation. If I'm doing a mundane task, sending email to somebody, maybe a script can help. Maybe extracting information from a database, it can help. But the way of making these decisions may not be the best possible solution for a script. That's why we need generative AI and we need agentic AI for that.
Got it. So I'm guessing things which are like rule-based or procedural we can do with automations, but where you need intelligence, where you said our brain can on the spot, it can change based on the situations. It's constantly listening for signals.
Exactly.
It will adapt
Now,
itself.
let me give you one more information. Let's say I decided in Dubai I have to go to Miracle Garden, a nice place, but it opens from a specific time period to time period. Now, if my model was trained, let's say based on the data of 2025, and in 2026 there is a new schedule for that garden to open. Now, it may give me wrong information without validation. I may go there and find, hey, it is closed, and that is a waste of my time and money and everything. So agentic AI would help you to understand what is the context, what is the real-time information if you need, and based on that can generate data. So planning, replanning, adjustment, then authority, all of these will come when we are using agentic AI in that case.
Got it. So it can reason and then adapt based on the real-time information. Makes sense.
Exactly. So yeah, it can do those all things. So same like we reason and adapt, right? That is what humans do. So that's how the same thing is being done by agentic AI for me. Now, so I can give you one more example here. Let's say there is a senior product manager, Maya, and she has given a prompt to the LLM that create a dedicated, detailed go-to-market plan for B2B software as a service product, launching a new AI-powered dashboard. So LLM would be very fine. It would be able to give you a lot of things, that high-level strategy generation. It will make marketing content ideas. It will give stakeholder communication structure, sales enablement material, drafting FAQ. This is all done. But still, Maya has to do a lot of extra work of scheduling and coordinating all the stakeholders' time. Maybe the AI was trained on the brand material which was outdated, so then that is not going to work for you. You may have inaccurate or vague insight because it is generalist, not a specialist model. So those challenges can be there. So AI is good in a lot of things, but not everything can be done by AI, and that's why we need a brain plus hand combination, not just the brain combination, and that's why agentic AI is going to help me. Right. So
I get
let
it.
me
So
put
it's
it.
going to act on it, Ashish. So if I'm
Exactly.
right, it's going to act on even the advice that it gives. So usually these days we just generate things and then we take actions ourselves, like curate a mail and then the sending part is done by me. So now you're saying that it will actually curate the email and send it out as well, right?
Yeah, and it may take care of things like, just a simple example, maybe this person is on holidays, so there's no point to send an email right now, or this is odd time zone for that person. There's no point to disturb him or her. So it should be able to reason that time, like we do, right? Hey, should I send this email right now or should I wait till they wake up? That script is not going to do for you. AI can do for you.
Got it. Makes sense.
Okay, so what is the challenge if I put it into like small words? So generative AI allows you to dream, but it is not doing the things for you. It assumes things, but it does not check. Like it checked that old brand information was there, let me pull it and then create something. It is able to plan, but it do not adopt to the changes when happens. It start, but don't finish. It allows us to create a plan and then act on it. So basically what is happening, rather than AI helping, we are helping AI in a way that it is able to complete something. So that is a challenge. What we want from AI is basically that when we dream, it should be able to execute. When we assume something, it should be able to validate. And when we plan, it should be able to adjust if the things changes. And also, when it starts something, it should be able to achieve those results. So that is how this agentic AI is going to help you out. So that's what we want. So think of it like we have brain function right now functioning through LLM, but now we want to add some capabilities where it can actually do something for me.
So Ashish, so
Makes
when you're
sense.
saying it can adjust, so if I've given it a goal to achieve, so you mean to say it will take decisions through different paths and then decide which is the right way to go, and if it doesn't achieve the goal, it will change paths as well. Do you mean that by adjust?
Yeah, planning and replanning. So let's say you are going to a destination from point A to point B. So you had a plan that I have to take this route, I have to go from this place, and then I'll turn here, then I'll turn there, and then I'll reach. But what if there is a road blockage? What if there is some outage in that particular place where you cannot go? So that's where we need to replan, right? We do it very naturally as a human being, but it's not the same thing for AI. So that's why agent would take it to next step, where they should be able to perform all the planning, replanning, adjustment, and optimization, and then can go forward. So yes, it can reason and rock, really put by Sneha there into chat. So yeah, that's what it will do.
That's great. So that means there's no human intervention even to change course correct, right? So it will automatically.
That would be the best state. 90% of the things we want like that. We can still introduce some human control. Like, let's say again, it depends from industry to industry, Parna. So let's say if I'm into medical industry, or let's say in a hospital type of situation, I may still want a human intervention there. I may not want to have a fully automated.
Right.
But some industries like travel booking and all, probably we can go ahead and all these things. So, but yes, industry to industry should be there, no problem. The human intervention will become lesser and lesser. That's what we want to achieve, so that we can be more creative, and rather than booking ticket, I can invest my time in doing something else.
Got it. So we can have automation as well as fully automated. I think where it's not
That
critical,
purely
like you
depends on
said,
you.
financial service and healthcare or legal systems where the decision making is really critical, right? So there we can introduce a human intervention. Is that correct?
Yeah, maybe we don't want to have 100% autonomy on the agent, and that's why, like, I don't want to give like nuclear weapons control to an agent, right? We all talk about this thing, Terminator thing, that Skynet taken over. So we don't want that, right? So we still want to keep some things on us. Yes.
Okay. So I was just wondering, because is there some amount of control we can have, or we just give it off?
You
So
can.
that's good.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously you have that. Makes sense. Good. So hopefully you're clear that why we need agentic AI, and let me now talk a little bit on what is an agent, and then we'll take the conversation and we'll see if you have any questions on that. So
Right.
let me explain
Ashish,
a concept. Go
yeah,
ahead.
so since you're going into this, please help me to understand even agents and agentic AI, because both of them sound really synonymous. So yeah, please take me down that path where I can understand both.
Sure. So let's. I always say that technology has not come from the space; it has come up from the things we do on day-to-day basis. So let's talk about that. So agent basically is a word come from a Latin word called agere, and that means that to do or drive or to lead or to act. Now, we all have seen agent in some shape or form. So someone agent is official definition. I would say someone who acts on behalf of another person or a business. So we always talk to customer support agent, insurance agent. Sometimes they are notoriously known to sell you wrong insurances, right? No offense to them, but yeah, they are agent too. Real estate agent, we all deal with them. Travel agent, we all deal with them. So basically, they are representing some part of a business or some other person, and that's how we are interacting with them. So that's what an agent is. Now, if I go into agentic AI, there is a long definition I can bore you with, which is like AI, which refer to artificial intelligence that can pursue goals, make decisions, and take action autonomously based on their understanding. Or I would say AI agent are entities that drive autonomous work. Autonomous is the best thing here because they can work independently. I don't have to keep on spoon feeding them every time. Like, think about, they are maturing, so they would be able to perform lot many things in future. Still they are able to do a lot of things, but basically they are entity that drive autonomous work for us rather than we manually doing the things. That is, agent will take care of lots of things, right? That makes sense.
Okay. So if I understand a part of it, maybe you can elaborate more. So an agent is very focused on one particular task. Is that correct? It will do it autonomously, but it's only one particular domain it will target and can't be specialized in everything. Is that the difference between an agent and an agentic AI system?
I would put it a little differently. So yes, in a way, yes, I would say like you are very correct on that. So we don't want to build one agent which can do everything, right? So you would see
Right.
some way that we can divide and conquer kind of situation. So we could have agent who could specialize on, let's say I have to book a flight. So one agent could be very good in finding out the cheapest flight. Another could be very good at finding out the transport from airport. Another one could be really good in getting my currency converted. So when we combine all these agents together, that is what agentic AI will come into picture. And I'll give you some analogies as we move forward. You should be able to understand how all these things work. Make sense?
Yeah, makes
A quick
sense.
check that my audio is okay and my screen share is okay so far. Anyone seen any
Uh,
issues or anything?
it is okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I
It's
think
all
it's
good,
fine.
Ashish.
All right. So people, this is all good. Thank you. So people, hopefully you are not getting bored. Let me wake up audience who are in the chat. Can you please all give +1 in the chat if you are all enjoying and learning something? Please give +1 in the chat, and we will keep on continuing. So I want to ensure that you are there and you are listening. +1, that is good. Okay, let's keep moving forward. Parna, you okay so far?
Yeah, your voice is breaking a little, but you can continue. I'll let you know if it
That's what I'm
completely.
thinking. Like somehow my okay. If it breaks, yeah, okay, good.
Yeah,
So yeah, so let me give you an analogy so that you would be able to relate these things in a little better way. And I'm like a movie buff, not like hardcore, but yeah, I like movies. So I'll give you some analogy so that everyone can relate to how all these things work together, right? Okay, are you okay with that?
absolutely. Who
Good.
doesn't like movies?
So probably completely agree on that. So probably you have all seen some agents, right? 007 is a famous agent for Bond franchisee. Then Matrix, which is one of my famous series which I like watching in my free time. So Agent Smith is there. Then Agent 47 coming from Hitman. Agent Dominica from Red Sparrow. So these are all agents, right? So let's focus on how the modus operandi of these people are. All these are super agent as we call them. Let's see how they operate and what they do so that we can understand them and relate it to what we are doing into agentic AI. It's not very different. So let's take example of James Bond, right? Very suave, very sophisticated person, and let's see how he operates on. So when we are comparing agent 007 and AI agent, let's see how they're doing. I like Vakarish that you said Ajit Doval is missing the real agent. I completely agree on that. But that's why I said it is a movie example, but I like it. That's a good one. Okay. So when 007 receives a high stake mission from MI6, what it will do? He would go ahead and will assess the threat. He will plan covert action in real time. That what needs to be done. It will act autonomously under pressure, right? No Bond movies without excitement. There is always a bomb ticking or there is always a mishap going to happen and Bond saves it at the last minute, right? So he adopts to changing threats and mid operation. M, who is the leading this MI6, is not going to tell Bond what needs to be done exactly. It will be given a mission, and then Bond will figure out what is the best way to achieve that mission. So it adopts to changing threat mid operation, saves the day with precision and skill. That's what happens when Bond is operating. This is the theme of every Bond movie, right? There is a high stake mission, there is a threat, and then it keeps on going forward and then fulfills all the thing. And in between, a lot of excitement happens, obviously. When I talk about AI agent, they are also the same type of mechanisms, right? So they are triggered by a defined goal or a user request. Bond will not wake up one morning and say, "Let me go ahead and save the world today." It has to be told somehow, or some event happens, right? It has to be triggered. So triggered by a defined goal or user request. Then it will analyze the context, data, and environment. Same Bond would do. It will identify who all people are involved. It will generate a plan using reasoning and tools access which is given to it. So like in Bond's case, you would obviously have seen Q, who gives him lot of sophisticated type of gadgets or car and all type of stuff, right? So the same way, an agent would also have tools access. The tools here could be like accessing a database. Tools could be sending an email. Tools could be browsing on Google and finding some information. And then once it has this information, it will execute those tasks. And then when things change, it will replan, and based on a new input or system feedback, it will keep on adjusting its course, and it will deliver the outcome with speed, accuracy, and scale. So as you could clearly see that agent 007 and AI agent have a lot of similarities in that. That's how these things work, right? Good. So that's how it works. Now, how we are evolving, let's go ahead and talk about it. So, evolving agentic AI. So, we initially started with the basic automation, which is generative AI assistant type of thing. Like you are typing into Word and it generates a recommendation that this word is wrong, or this spelling is wrong, or the sentence structure is wrong, right? So, that is what it is, basic automation which is happening. That is generative AI assistant working for us, right? And then AI agent will be there who would be able to go a little bit further, a single agent executing dynamic workflow to complete a task, that is an AI agent. So they achieve a singular goal, they focus on one single thing, and then they address wide range of use cases, they automate entire workflows. When I talk about agentic AI, there is multiple systems working together, and that's how they execute a dynamic workflow. That is the main key here. So that workflow will be done by multiple people working together, and that's how it would be able to move forward on that. That's how it will go ahead. So it is fully autonomous. So what we are trying to achieve from evolving this agent, that we started with more human oversight, and then we want to move to less human oversight over a period of time. So that's how we are evolving the agents as we move forward. Are we good on this?
Okay, makes sense. So, so Ashish, so maybe as an example, like because you are good with analogies, even I'll try one. So, an AI agent can be thought of as a henchman with the toolbox, and agentic AI will be a complete team with the architect and the civil engineer and the
That's a good
laborers
one.
all together.
Exactly, exactly.
See, I'm getting there.
Yeah, so think like you want to get a, yeah, you're getting there. Obviously, this is a good one. So you want to get a wall hanging fitted, or maybe I want to get a IKEA furniture fitted, right? So you do not need 50 people for that. But when you're building a house, you may need 50 people to build that house. So that's how these things will be moving forward. So that is a good one. And let me give you one more analogy into my movie world. So let's talk about that. So probably everyone knows about Jarvis. I'm not sure how many of you know Jarvis full form. So Jarvis, when you talk watch this Iron Man movie, it is the AI which is allowing Iron Man to perform all, Tony Stark to perform all the tasks. So that's what happens. So Jarvis talks and plan. So that is the one thing. Then Iron Man basically will act on that, right? So Iron Man will be taking care of communication and acting on what needs to be done. And then Iron Man alone may not be suitable for a huge task. So that's why they had to do a assemble. So that's where Avenger comes in. So Avengers work together, and Avengers ensure that they are able to perform their own tasks. So there, if you look at this team, everyone has their specific tasks, right? When it comes to thinking, probably it will go to Tony Stark for some complicated stuff. When it comes to smashing, it should go to Hulk, who can smash well. So that is how Avengers work together and then create a solution for you. Similarly, if I go ahead with that, so generative AI assistant basically helps you and tell me, create content and insight. That's what they do. On the other hand, AI agent will do it for you. So do it for me, execute. That's what Iron Man is doing. And when we combine all these agents together, they will get it done together. All multitask agent execution will happen. That is what is called agentic AI system, right? So we evolved from some assistant to an agent and to an agentic AI system. System is where a lot of components come together. That's what we refer as a system. That is make sense.
Makes sense.
Got it,
Could
Vishnu?
you
That's a good one for Jarvis.
okay?
Yeah.
So, what's the full form? Even I'm curious to know. Just a
Yeah,
rather.
go ahead. Just a rather very intelligent system. That's Jarvis.
Okay, that's insightful.
Good one. Yeah, me. I never thought that there is a full form. Then I looked it somewhere, and then it stuck to me. Yeah, it is a full form on that. But it is a good
Nice.
name too. Good. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So Ashish, can you give me a example where you can walk me through like agent, what kind of workflow it goes through?
All right, good. Let's go through that. So let's talk about AI agent as a travel assistant. So what it will do, what will be happening, and let's talk about very simple thing. So idea here is that an agent is capable of using something called tools. Like you give the example that you need somebody a handyman to perform some task, So he or she will come up with a toolbox. Same way, agent would require a tool. So let's say I go and talk to agent that, hey, which day in the next week is ideal for Mount Fuji hiking for me? I would ask this agent. So now what agent has to do? Agent is not just relying on the old information it has, right? Because let's say it was trained in 2025, and by this time the weather in Mount Fuji has changed a lot. So it may not be able to make right decisions. What it will do first, it will start thinking. Thinking is where planning is happen. So it will check, let me check what is the best weather forecast, because when you are doing a mountain hiking, you need to ensure that the weather is favorable, not adversely to you. So you need to think on that. So agent will go ahead and plan. So first thing it will do is think, plan the best, check weather forecast on that. Then it will act. Now, weather forecast is not capability of agent. Maybe it has to be pulled from somewhere else. So that's why it will need a tool, a API call or something, so that it can go and ask some information from there. So it will act. So the tool, rainy till the Thursday but sunny and warm next Friday, this information comes to it. Now, based on this information, what this agent is going to do, it is going to evaluate. So it evaluates that, okay, looks like Thursday is not a best time to go because it is going to rainy. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is also not good. Till Thursday it is rainy, but it's sunny and warm next Friday. So let's go ahead and do Mount Fuji hiking on Friday, basically. So this information will now passed on to the user that, hey, next Friday is ideal since it will be sunny and warm. So if you look here, it did three things: think, act, and then evaluate. So first is thought that to go for hiking, I need to get information about the weather. So it started thinking, then it used a tool like a API call to get information about acting on that, and then evaluate and reflect. Based on the information is gathered, it was able to go ahead and get some information. Let's say if this information came like all days are rainy and not suitable for hiking, maybe agent could suggest that, okay, instead of going to Mount Fuji hiking, you go ahead and do this thing, that would be much better for you, right? So this is how this planning and replanning and adjustment is coming up. Make sense?
Ashish, I have one question though. So here you said the agent
Mhm.
uses tools. Now, how does it know which all tools it has access to? So there are like numerous APIs, numerous database. Where does it get, like, even for this API, if it has to use like a API key, how does it know I have access to XYZ tools? I should query this database. From where does it find that out?
Okay, let's take a simple example. Let's say you have a mobile phone to charge, right? Now what you will do, first you will check what type of pin it has, and then you will look for that, do I have that type of charger in my bag or somewhere or not. Then only you will be working on that. So agent needs to know what tools are available for it, and then it uses its brain to identify those information associated with the tool. So I will give, let's say, agent 5 tool. One tool is weather tool, so it now knows if I have to go and check weather, I have to use this tool. Second could be transport tool. Third could be, let's say, a jacket or maybe a clothing tool. Fourth could be related to some permissions required for it. So it is using LLM as a brain and tool as mechanism to get this particular work done. So when I have to nail something into a wall, I would use hammer. When I have to unscrew something, I would use a screwdriver. The tools are there, but my brain tells me that which tool is suitable for this task. So here LLM is aware which tools are available, and then LLM makes a call which tool is suitable for this particular task at the moment. Does it make sense?
Okay. Yes. So I'm guessing there will be a tool description that will help the LLM to
Exactly. We
decide.
need that. Yes, because see, LLM may not know what comes once I fire up this API call. So we may have to tell
Right.
to this, hey, this API call connects you to database to get information about weather. This gets you
Right.
financial information. This gets you permission information. So that's what, yes,
So
we need that.
reason
Right.
that, yeah, so this is the one for weather, so I should.
That reason. That is where
Got
brain
it.
is needed. So we need LLM for that.
Makes sense.
And it is able to do dynamic orchestration also. Like, let's say I say, hey, create an email marketing list for top 500 target customer for a product announcement I'm doing. So it will again go ahead with the same process. It need to know what product it is, understand product positioning. So when I'm, let's say, sending out, I'm sending a product which is, let's say, a warm jacket, it may not be suitable for somebody who is living into a hot area. So that kind of product knowledge base is there. Then it has some analytics tool, so it will take care of that tool. Then it will go into segmentation, and then will get perform verification of the emails and all. So if you look here, there are multiple tasks which are happening, and they are all have to be coordinated also. So agents will take care of coordination too, like which system used to be needed to be used first, which second, which third, and through that all information, it will be able to get your work done on that. So that's how it would be able to get things done. Let me give you a quick example again on an AI agent handling internet issue. So AI agent listens and transcribes. So customer initiates a contact. Agent listens to this information. It uses the LLM to interpret the issue which is coming up. I'm talking about a chatbot like scenario. It is the brain, and then it outlines fault finding process, goes ahead, then it is planning, then it checks area for service issue, right? So if the whole area is having internet issue, there is no point to go ahead and just fix this customer's problem. It is not going to get fixed. It is planning that, the replanning. If there is a problem in the whole area, then we cannot do anything. If not, then we will go ahead and run diagnostic on the fine fault. We'll execute some call. We will again, maybe it requires a replacement, so we can create a support ticket for router replacement, or maybe we have to send in a technician, so we can execute something, and then information of customer of outcome, and this whole information can be saved, so the next call can be optimized further. That's how our agent would keep on functioning. So look here, we have brain, we have planning happening, we have replanning happening, execution happening, and save also happening, so that that memory helps the agent in becoming more smarter day by day. So that's how this whole thing put together allows an agent to function as smart as possible.
Ashish, just one question. So I'm thinking, so even for planning and all, there are special kinds of LLMs, right? So even the choice of the LLM is very important, right? So over here, say even for transcribing, one LLM might be really good at that. The other one might be very good at planning and reasoning. So probably the choice of LLM also matters, right, in this entire scenario.
Exactly, it matters. So yeah, so let's say you have to handle a specific case or a specific type of requirements. You need a LLM which is fine tuned for that, right? So if I'm having a model where we need to have, like, say, language transcription, we will obviously need an LLM who is smart enough for that kind of a thing. So yes, we would need specific type of brains for that, LLMs for that.
Makes sense.
All right. Now, you were saying that how all these agents fit together. So let me give this example to that. So let's say I'm using an AI agent as a supply chain agent. So here we can have multiple agents working together. So right now we are seeing a lot of that tariff changes happening in the world, lot of problems happening, war related and other things. So let's say I'm like trying to ask the LLM, what material should I buy right now to minimize the impact of tariff increases? So let's say I am having a manufacturing plant and I have to source raw material from different places. So what will happen? It will check weather agent, right? Because whether if it is bad, or maybe if those particular lines are not good, in the transportation will take more time from the road, and also it will check that. It can then do financial planning agent, like what kind of transport would be better for me. Then it can talk to logistics agent, it can talk to demand planning, how much material I should buy, and then we can have LLM as a judge also. So whatever these individual system has come up with, this information can be fed into a judge LLM, and then it can decide whether the decision they are making are right or not. We need some checks and balances also, right? So we can introduce a judge balancer. So what is happening here? We have unified supply chain intelligence coming from a supply chain agent. Impact of tariff is not clear if it is just single agent, but when we combine all this together and put a LLM as a judge on top of it, they should be able to perform a better decision making on that. Should not be a problem in this case.
And Ashish, each of these agents have their own set of tools, right?
Yes. So yes, you can expand that toolbox, but yes, they have their own tool depending on what type of work they want to do. Like when you call a handyman, it may come up with very specific general tools, right? But when you are asking a person to come and fix your carpet, they would come up with a different type of tools. So same thing here, depending on different agent and different work they want to do, they should be able to use different tools for it.
Okay, but they'll share the same context information amongst themselves, so they are aware of the information that is flowing through them, correct? So they share.
Yeah, that makes sense also. Like let's say you are building a house, right? And then you have to get electricity done. Now your electrician has to coordinate with the person who is doing painting and all, right? I don't want my electrician to come and drill holes once the painting is done. So they have to coordinate between them, that who would come first, who would do second, what orchestration strategy would be, and based on that, they have to keep moving forward.
Correct. So even the ordering is important, sharing information is important.
Exactly. So context is important. Context is very important.
Makes sense.
Great. Are we not sure that agent also hallucinates? See, this is a common problem, but we are improving on that. So there is a question I picked up from chat just to for it. So yeah, yes, we are improving on that. There would always be human element required for some use cases. In most cases, no. Like sometimes your mail goes into spam, right? But 99% of the time, it is accurately doing the sorting. So yes, there would be some hallucination will always happen.
Okay. Yeah, and I guess the LLM as the judge, which is there, that's kind of like the guard.
That's not exactly.
Yeah, it's not always 100% foolproof, but I'm guessing that is going to prevent a lot of hallucinations.
Yeah, and this one you can use as a strong model behind the scene, right, for judging purpose. These can be a simple model which do not require very complicated calculation and all. So yes, that can work together.
Got it.
Okay. Now, quickly, I want to talk about. We have only 10 minutes left, so I'll talk about anatomy of an AI agent. That what is there into an agent. So obviously, user prompt or a query or API call would trigger request for an agent, and within that, what we would have, it would have a brain. It would require an LLM. That would always be required on that. Then plan, reason, and orchestration is required. Then we need to interact with external environment via tools, and then we will need memory. So these are the three common things we will need: a planning capability, interaction capability, so it can talk to others, which is tools, and then it may have memory. Based on that, it should be able to go ahead and get the required information. So these are all what will be present for an agent to get started. This is what an anatomy of an agent is. So basically, it is performing planning, it is able to perform tools usage, and it is able to perform and access memory in case needed for that. So that's how agent would work on. I had more example, Parna, but I'll skip that. We will share this slide to people who are watching. You would be able to go through this. Shouldn't be a problem, and you will get more information on that. Does it make sense?
Makes sense. So I'm guessing memory is more to remember all the previous conversations, right? So so the user
Yes.
doesn't have
So
to.
let's say my exactly. We don't want to, let's say, I contacted support today. They tried, asked me to perform some task. I did it.
Hmm,
Next day I came back and I again asked, being asked to perform the same task doesn't help me, right? It should know the
correct.
context and memory so that it knows that, hey, Ashish has already performed these tasks. Internet problem didn't got fixed. So let's not go ahead with the same loop of giving him all this information again. Let's go ahead and move forward and do something else on that.
Great. Yeah. And Ashish, now can you just probably give me an example of how I can use Bedrock agents? Like now I've got a good understanding of agents, but I'd really love to use Bedrock agents. So give me a high
Yeah.
level overview of that.
I'll do that. But I have to give you a little bit of context that where Bedrock sits in, because agents are not working in isolation, right? There is a pyramid kind of a concept which I prefer. So I'll quickly show you where we are and where agent sits in. So first thing we need is infrastructure. These are all memory hungry applications in a ways. They require a lot of CPU and all. So we need infrastructure. Infrastructure could be on-prem or cloud. This should not be a problem. Then we need foundational model, because that is the brain which is making agent work and plan, replan, all type of stuff. So open source or customized model you can choose on. Then you would need some supporting services like for security, for memory, for observability, for orchestration. And once you have sorted it all, then you can start building your agents on top of it. So you need infrastructure, you need a foundational model, you need supporting services for monitoring, memory, security, and then you would be able to use agent on top of it. And when we come to Bedrock, Bedrock is one of the services in AWS which allows you with all this generative AI and machine learning. But AWS has lot many services too, coming from the semiconductor to AI ML services, foundational model, orchestration layer, and then application Amazon Q business. So this all put together is allowing you to get these things. So if you look here, this is where my orchestration layer is being handled by Bedrock agent, and Bedrock has its AI ML service function also. So Bedrock can be used without any agent, or it can be used with agent. It has both capabilities on that. Should not be a problem.
All
Okay.
right. So I
Now,
can programmatically also go and talk to Bedrock. I don't really need a full-fledged agent. Makes
you
sense.
do not need it. So the interface is good when you are exploring it. You are checking few things. We need a playground for performing some text analysis and also. Then it is good. But you do not need to have the full kind of always UI. So you will obviously access it. So when we are talking about Bedrock agent, where it fits in, there was some question in the chat also where LangGraph fits in, where we can use it, those kind of things. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So AI agent, when you want to build, you could go ahead and use some managed services, because you would need a model, right? You would need some memory associated with it. So should you provision all of these things, or should you use a managed services for that? If your use case is no, I want to do everything on my own, so go ahead and do it yourself. That is DIY kind of stuff, should not be a problem on that. When we talk about managed service based agent creation, that is where Bedrock shines. So Bedrock is a managed service from AWS, and we allow it to be used for creating your agent, and that's what we will be doing in our workshops also. But when you think that I am going to do it myself, that time you can use something like open source kind of framework. And I'm not listing all of them, but some commonly used tools are there, like you can use LangChain, you can use Crew AI, Llama Index. These are all really great way to get started when you're looking for open source. And if you're looking for do it yourself, but in AWS context, then that's not a problem at all. AWS gives you Strands agent, so you could leverage it. So keep this bifurcation in your mind, that when you have to use a managed service, gravitate toward Bedrock. If you have to do it yourself, gravitate towards Strand agent, or you could go ahead and perform things on your open source like LangChain, TrueAI, and Llama Index. So that's how it all works.
I
So I
guess
hope
if
you are
I have to
now.
do more customization, Ashish, I would go for the DIY options, right? If I have to do some customizations on my own, so that's when I
Again,
think Strands.
some is little undefined, Parna. So
Okay,
when I say some adjustment, that some adjustment may happen in Bedrock also. So we may have to evaluate a little bit further that, okay, is it a specific use case to use managed services or not? It's not a simple decision. It has to go through
got
multiple kind of a litmus check and say, okay, yes, it works fine for me. I will not have, maybe the capabilities are not there, or maybe there is some security concern, maybe there's some compliance issue or whatever. Then I may look for my own mechanisms of doing things on that. So it
I get
depends.
it.
It depends.
Okay,
Now,
makes sense. I
as you
think
say that,
Bedrock has a lot
hey,
of,
give me some.
yeah, sorry. So Bedrock has a lot of integrations with AWS services, right? So I think that's one pro which is
Obviously,
there with Bedrock. Yeah,
advantage of it. So you need memory, right? You don't want to go to a third party to get memory for your agent, for your logging information. You can use CloudWatch. You need some security. You could leverage IAM for that. So that's where things come in. So if I give you very high level information about what a Bedrock agent looks like, this is how it works. So we start with instruction given to agent. So we provide some instruction to agent, and then agent will perform orchestration, and through that it would be able to perform tasks for me. So the tools is coming into something called action group here. So this action group schema, lambda function. So this is a simple lambda function, let's say I have for date and time. This will happen through my action group. But when you go further on to a little more detail on a Bedrock agent, what it can be used for. So when you invoke an agent, invoke will follow, this agent will follow the instruction given to it, right? Then it would be able to perform some pre-processing of the data. Then it will perform orchestration. Then it will perform post-processing. It may leverage some knowledge bases if required, and then it can perform the tools using action groups on that. So there are some terminologies here like action group. Action group are basically allowing you to perform things, which is your tools, and that can be simple things like lambda functions, and then it can be going to talk some databases and all, and then you may have schema function may be taking care of API based call in this kind of cases. So this is a common thing, like we provide instruction, we provide orchestration capabilities, and then based on that it is able to access resources and then perform the tasks you are looking forward to. Does it make sense?
makes sense. Yeah,
Good. Okay. So if I go further on that, so this is what agent would need in Bedrock concept. So effective agent instruction are crucial. I'll show you an example. So let's read this information. I can give this instruction to my agent. What we are saying here, we are saying here, you are in car parts assistant. So what I did here, I provided information to the agent that, hey, agent, you act like you are in car part agent. So that is the role which is given to my agent here, right? Then it would be able to perform tasks. So helping user find compatible part. Your main task are part identification. So you have to do this. Find specific part based on vehicle details. This information you should get as an input. Assist with partial information. Compatibility checks. This is what need to be performed. Check technical info also. So this is the action your agent is going to do. So we provide this particular instruction to agent in a form like a natural language. An agent is able to pick up what is the role of this agent, what is the action it has to do. We can put some guideline. We could say use database function for searches. So see this here, we are saying what you have to use, which tool, the database function to get to this database. Supplement with your automated knowledge for comprehensive help. So it is using its own existing knowledges also. And then you would be able to provide some guardrails also that say, hey, state uncertainties clearly. Don't hallucinate. Don't give me wrong part which I buy for and it is not fitting into my car. It doesn't make sense. So these kind of instructions should be provided to your agent so that it would be able to perform this task. So these are all new natural language text which you provide, and through this, your agents are able to perform the task required on that. And in the workshop, you would be going through all these steps and will understand more information about how Bedrock works and what components are there, how they integrate with each other, how you create an agent, how you execute it. So that would be all coming. So I'll take a
Ashish,
pause here. It is 3:59.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So just last question. So this is synonymous to a system prompt, right?
In a way, yes, it is very similar to that. But yeah, it may not be just always a system prompt. You could use other things also with to control the behavior on that. So system prompt is very specific to prompt engineering. And when people think about it, they think, hey, it is always needs to be done manually, but this can be dynamically done also if need for that. So those instructions from the context can be extracted and then provided to agent, and then it can act and replan and then keep moving forward with the task you have given to it. So it's a goal oriented. You give it a goal, it will get it done.
Got it. So it doesn't need to be static like this. Even some portions of the instructions can be dynamically filled at runtime. Okay.
Exactly.
Got it.
Makes sense. So great. So I think you have got good information. We had few more slides to cover, but obviously we do not have time, so I'll not go through that. We already have a guest here, so we'll talk about that. But yeah, I will share these slides, and it will give you all the information you are looking for. Slides will be shared with you on an email with all of the details on that. And I've given some more examples here, like what could be a request, what could be knowledge base, what could be action group, so that you can get a bit both or information on that. So hopefully everyone has got good information, and hopefully Parna, you got some question answered. And we will have more discussion about more technologies like MCP, Bedrock Agent Core into coming days. So thanks for that.
Thank you so much, Ashish. And remember, all of you, just watch the video as well as the slides. Quizzes are going to be dependent on that. Yeah. All right. Thank you so
Exactly.
much.
That's yeah. So yeah, that's the batch for that. Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully everyone has got some good information. While we have our guest here, can you please put +2 in the chat while we talk to others? Thank you, Parna. Hey Prasad, how was it? Too much chat questions happening. I could see there are a lot of questions coming in.
Yes, there are a lot of questions, and everyone, like, it is just the first session that we are delivering, and we are focusing on the basics. People who are a bit more ahead in the journey, we would be diving deep into each of these topics. So do not worry on that. So we will be diving deep in the further sessions. So if you look at the agenda, the first session is just the foundations of AI agent. That's what we were covering today. And regarding the hands-on workshops, there were a lot of questions. And we will be providing all the information after the behavioral track, which we will start now. So with that, let's
Let me
introduce
add
our
Roland to the guest. Hello, Roland. How are you doing,
Hello,
sir?
how are you? Ashish
All
Prasad,
good.
how are you doing both?
Shiny, all good. Shiny T-shirt with a big AWS logo. And Prasad, I'm missing it. So yeah. So Roland, to give you context, like I'm in India attending a wedding, so I do not have those formal things. I'm wearing something like print, which is not my type, but yeah, I have to wear it for a wedding.
Yeah, I think you look good. Everyone has their clothes taste and all of that, so all good.
That's a good one. Thank you. So I'll drop off from the camera. I'm still in the chat, but Prasad, go ahead and kickstart the session. Thank you.
Yes. So thanks, Roland, again for joining. Let's start with introduction. Introduce yourself to the audience, and then we'll kickstart the fireside chat.
My name is Roland Barcia. I'm a worldwide director at AWS. I run our specialist technology team, and I lead our specialist SAs, which are the kind of the SAs that go deep and are experts in different technology. Our specialist tech team builds a lot of mechanisms, tools, and works with customers. I have a prototyping team that's building AI agents all the time for customers for all sorts of different use cases. We run the technical field communities. We have engineering teams that are building different accelerator solutions and tools, such as Workshop Studio, which I think some of the folks are going to use to take some of the hands-on exercises today. It's actually one of the world's largest fleets of AWS accounts in the world, like over 5 million accounts that we manage and do hands-on all the time with our field, our customers, our partners, etc.
And thank you so much for allowing us to use the workshop studio that your team has built for BeSA community. So for everyone who is listening, like the workshop studio is what exactly we use to enable our customers, partners, and you get the same experience when you are attending AWS events like reInvent or AWS summits. So you're going to get the same experience doing the hands-on workshops here in the BeSA, and we'll try our level best to keep up with the kind of demand we are getting. So Roland, to give you a bit of a start, we got around 2,300 people registered for the week one workshops. Obviously we were expecting around 500, and now we are scaling the capacity. So we'll talk about that in the hands-on workshop section, but let's talk about the AI agents that you mentioned, right? So Ashish and Parna did talk about, difference between a normal generative AI application and the agentic AI. But I would like to hear from you that in enterprises, right, what makes actually a difference when it comes to agent AI system being agentic versus a traditional AI applications?
Yeah, I was actually debating this with my manager, who's our VP, Justin, and over the weekend he's like, "That's agentic. That's not agentic." Like he likes to point out. I think there's a lot of terms. There's agents. You can build agents that are not agentic, for example, right? So I think in the past, like when you think about AI, a lot of it was generative AI and like back and forth conversations and prompts and one-shot interactions or multiple back and forths. I think over time, agentic has come to mean a few things. I think one is if you talk now, and you can kind of see some of it if you talk into chat interfaces, you see kind of a complex query come in or a complex prompt, and it says, oh, let me look at that. Let me plan the execution. Let me look at all the resources I have. So there's a lot of, instead of back and forth, a lot of like planning and as far as planning, defining what are all the tasks ahead of time that I'm going to go through, and then have some goals, right? The agentic systems will have a lot more planning, tasks, and goals. Therefore, they can act autonomous, and therefore you see kind of the having dynamics. A lot of advantage. You don't have to maintain a lot of routing logic, static orchestration logic, and so that's one. I think the other one is like a proactive nature of it, meaning taking, I always say next best action. So like, hey, these are your reservation details, and it goes ahead because of your profile and it has permissions. It'll go and book the travel, book the hotel, and do all of it for you. And taking that next best action. Multi-step reasoning, and then it gets smarter over time. So it's a learning system, and it knows about your environment. And so I could build we're building agents internally, and I have an agent, and the agent's being called by one chat application that's, let's say, close to my customer system, and the same agent is being called by a partner system. The context, that partner system might flow in partner context. This customer system might flow in customer context, and that context makes the agent behave differently on how it's going to answer things or not. And so this notion of being aware of that, and then using the best tool for the job. So like they have these characteristics, and I think it's a lot of those that make it much more agentic. That makes sense?
Yeah, makes sense. To bring it to life, like for our audience, is there any specific customer case study that you can share, like how customers have implemented AI agents on AWS?
Yeah, so we have a lot of customer examples. Like for example, Cox Automotives is doing like vehicle fleet management. They have like 17 agents in production that do things like the vehicle driver would call, and the agent automatically knows the truck, the route, where they at, the implementation, without any human lookup, any human in the loop. Or they might do autonomous customer engagement based on signals. So like we see fleet management. We have customers that are doing, I want to say crop management. So we have actual like Drew AI and all these different things going on around, doing investigation around cybersecurity threats. We have agriculture even being used with Syngenta CropWise as different use cases. Autonomous drug development as well. Within our organization, if you talk about Workshop Studio, like we're building agents for like workshop authors. and starting to integrate how our customers are using workshops in real time, how we engage with specialists and how we can get on-demand help through like agents, getting data from the TFC available in agents so that customers and the field can do that. So a lot of different use cases that we're seeing. I just saw one around AI ops and really the nature of a customer that had like 70% improvement in resolving customer issues. They built a set of MCP tools around their Kubernetes cluster, one for their runbooks, one for their ops and metrics, and one for their networking system. They were building an agent to like solve particular queries that come in, it's stuck, and automatically resolve things in the cluster through the runbooks that were provided. And so lots of different exciting use cases we're seeing. It's a great time to be an architect, in my view.
Awesome. Yeah. And I was actually pulling up a question from the audience, but you already gave a better example of showing how the AI agents can provide better experience. Thank you for sharing those real life experience. And you're right. It's a great time to be an architect. So let's start switching towards that. What AWS service, do you think are more foundational for creating these agentic AI systems?
Yeah. So agentic systems don't live in isolation, right? We're going to use a lot of different services. So one, there's SDKs, first of all, right? So developers are going to interact with SDKs, and there's all different types of SDKs. We built Strands, so cloud providers have provided Strands, which does kind of model-driven development for agents pretty well. But like Microsoft had AutoGen that has they released that to open source, event-driven. The model providers have SDKs like Claude Code SDK or Llama Index. And then you have these kind of open source or partner SDKs like LangGraph that has a lot of cool stuff for orchestration, or Crew AI, which is really focused on task management. And so like the SDKs are where the developers live and the AI developers live, obviously. But then you have to take those agents, you have to deploy them, you have to run them in production. And so Amazon Bedrock Agent Core, right? So Agent Core in particular is one of the key services we have. Agent Core runtime is obviously a serverless runtime where you could deploy and execute these agents, provides a lot of optimizations around performance that can help you. Agent Core memory. Memory is a very key aspect of AI applications. You have short-term memory, long-term memory, episodic memory that kind of remembers past conversations. You have Agent Core identity that gives you secure access to things like tools, models, etc. Agent Core gateway, which kind of gives you the ability to do tool management and give you semantic search over the tools. You have Agent Core observability, Agent Core browser, code interpreters, but you also have the new eval framework. Evaluations is pretty important. And so Agent Core is really that runtime that gives you the ability to deploy and run agents. But there's other ways to run agents. I think in the previous session, Bedrock Agents gives you a managed kind of workflow-based approach to agents with Bedrock agents and step functions. So if you like more visual orchestration managed, that's still a valid approach. We have customers that can take the SDKs I just talked about, and we have customers that are running agents on EKS if they're a Kubernetes standardized shop, or ECS, or even Lambda. So you still can write that. And what's cool is if you're doing agents there, you could still use like Agent Core memory, for example, with agents that are running elsewhere. Of course, Agent Core runtime is optimized for agents, whereas these other compute options support different types of workloads. Still need inference. Still need to have models that are running, finely tuned models, small language models, large language models, etc. Those are going to be in Bedrock, right? Bedrock is our really end-to-end inference platform where you're going to get access to Anthropic's Claude or Amazon Nova models, and all the different models out there, open source models, etc. Customers also can do inference, on containers, on EC2, self-managed as well. And so Bedrock is key. You might need to train, fine-tune models, or you're still going to have, SageMaker, or you might do that on containers or EC2 using things like Inferentia, NVIDIA instances. And then you have all these development tools that help developers, right? So like Kiro, obviously, and the Kiro CLI is a great help. I have one of my engineering teams that's gotten one system where it's 100% generated code from Kiro using Kiro steering files. So we're really excited about that. And we have frontier agents like DevOps agents and security agents that proactively improve your DevOps and your security posture. And every agent system is still going to use some AWS services like S3 or Dynamo. You might cache inference results for future. OpenSearch is going to be used for data and searching, and even as a vector storage. You're going to have CloudWatch for monitoring. You're going to use these services as part of the implementations. I said a lot, but obviously we have a lot of tools to help you accelerate your agent journey.
And thank you for summarizing it so well. And audience who are listening, please do not get overwhelmed if this is new for you. We will be covering a lot of these in coming sessions. So like Roland talked about Agent Core, and Agent Core is a suite of tools. So we'll be going through that in the subsequent sessions. Roland also talked about Kiro. So we have a dedicated session for Kiro where we'll be talking about the whole spectrum and development in more detail. Here, think about more of getting an overview about the art of possible and the landscape that we have with these AI agents. And if you talk about, Roland, around 6 months back, probably half of these was not there, right? It's evolving so fast, the whole, the landscape, that's difficult to keep up. So don't get overwhelmed, because we still need to learn a lot along the way as we are building the tools and as the users who are using the tools.
Yeah, 1000%. And that's why I tried to break it down, like SDK, deployment, inference, right? Think about the big buckets, and there might be a new big bucket tomorrow, but at least you could kind of put these where they fit in the life cycle of development. That's why this hands-on experience you're going to go through is super important, because it'll get you through these different layers.
Yes. Amazing. So let's keep moving forward. There is one question that I wanted to talk about, the architectural considerations. You talked about a lot of these things, but what are the major architectural considerations that you would like SAs should be mainly focusing on when proposing solutions?
Yeah, I always point back to, like, first of all, like the well-architected pillars still apply here, and there's now a bunch of new lenses, right? And so, security and identity with agents, I think is super important that you do early, because the same way you kind of have to secure systems for human interactions, like you're giving agents access to data, and these agents are autonomous, and the context and who's calling the agent can kind of change things. And so you really need to think about your security posture, almost treat an agent the same way you would treat a human. And what is that agent allowed to access? What are its credentials to access? Expiring and refreshing them. Like identity, I think, and security is super important. Scalability, isolation, and these things are super important as well, because these systems are stateful. They're accessing different data sources. And so, you might want to put agents behind firewalls that are like close to the data, but not let things access out. You might need to think about this orchestration behavior. Like, it's very easy to be like, okay, I didn't share the data. My agent gave me a summary, but then I can automatically send a summary with some secure data in an email because some agentic system was smart enough to send it out in an email to someone. Like, these are the types of things you have to worry about. Cost optimization is super important, but in this case, tokens, like token cost is huge here, and thinking about how you optimize for that early on. And there's all different best practices for token cost. There's a lot of things. For example, the first generation, everyone started building MCP servers, MCP server for this, MCP server for that, right? And then all of a sudden, that there was a study, I think Nav pointed me to this study of like, hey, there was a lot of cost being used up because the agents would have this list of tools, like thousands of tools, and just going, like wasting token costs, just like going through each of the tools and figure out what to use was costing money, right? That's like something like the gateway is kind of helpful in like reducing that cost. So observability is super important because when you think about an agent, like, okay, there's something that an agent can do better than a human, let's just say customer support, and the agent's doing some initial work for the first line of questions, but you still want to capture that interaction to learn how to improve the system, right? Like, and so like you still want to capture all that. So like it's super important to think about as you're building these agents, observability from day one, because you want to be able to like report on those systems, see how they're improving, etc. Memory management, like that one's huge. You know, how are you going to deal with short-term memory, long-term memory? Where are you going to store these conversations? How are you going to get them back? How are you going to recover when agents go away and come back? Super important. There's the workflow around it, which is like, you know, you have your events, like you have event, you have data processing, pre-processing of the data, like inference, how you're going to do inference, post-processing of it, decisions you make from results to go back, where you're going to store it. So like there's this like, you call it 5-layer architecture pattern around that as well. So those are all the different considerations you need to think about.
Yeah, and very well articulated, and probably like the sequence that you talked about is super important. Yeah, it all comes down to, as you mentioned, well articulated principles, but there are additional things that we take care when it comes to AI agents. So as a solutions architect, right, and I have this question from the audience. I'll take a question from audience, and this is something that I was also wanted to ask you, that when we are engaging with a client and probably recommending an AI solution or an agentic AI solution, where do we start? Any recommendation on what questions we should ask?
Yeah, I mean, every conversation is slightly different. First of all, one of the things that we're working on a lot of different agents to help our solution architects in the field. And it's actually the preparation you do before using the AI tools to come in and be a lot smarter upfront. So like, I like to flip it as like, hey, what do I know about my customer already? And how can AI help me come in with some context, right? Almost the same way an agent would want context, right? So first and foremost, before you even think about the questions, I would think about what are you using to research? And because we're never really the first architect that has probably come in from AWS at a customer. And so, you know, a customer may see, I just talked to Prasad, I'm talking to this Roland character. I come in, I'm talking to this Rohan character, and they're like, and I'm saying the same thing over again, like, because instead, right, what if we're able to flow that conversation further? And so I might know exactly where the customer is at when I come in, right? And so sometimes it's a brand new system that I'm building. Other times they've started their journey. If I already know the customer has built like 6 agents and they're having performance issues and things like that. Fundamentally though, it wouldn't be too different on a non-agentic system. Like what is the use case and what problem are you solving? Because a lot of times you go in and it's just like, I need to do AI. And then they start talking about very deterministic problems. And I'm like, maybe you just build it with a database and some Lambda functions and you're good with that. It's just a deterministic query. Why would you want to spend money or something like that on tokens? So like, but what is the use case? Where is the data associated with the use case? What are the outcomes that you want? What are the goals you want to achieve? Are some of the questions. Then as you get deeper into it, what is your technical posture now? What is your architecture? What are the technologies you know? What are the skills you have? Sometimes you go into a shop and they're all Java developers, and you know, they're going to all learn Python or something like that. I would say what's more important is the prep, and the AI tools will give you some of the top questions to go in. Be an agentic person. Like, get the context and go in, and those 3 questions will come from that context.
That's true, actually. And it very well, gives a segue into the next question that one of the users has asked, is that a lot of times customers do not know that what they need. They just say that we need to build AI, right? So, and we go and break that myth about, okay, you can do it via deterministic system. A couple of Lambda functions stitched in a step function would do it very well for you. How can we actually show the business value where agentic AI solutions can be used for them? Like, where they will actually get the value for money that they will be spending on agentic AI solutions?
Yeah. When my team demos to me, right, I always tell them the SA, the solution architect might be the worst person to give the demo or to show the outcome, because the architect is so proud of the technical solution that they jump very much into, how did I build the system? Oh, I used an agent core orchestrator here, and this orchestrator with these 17 tools I built, and they get into it. And I often start like with the what, and what is the outcome used. So like, oftentimes I will show a business person, let's just say they're a salesperson. I'm like, look at this data that I got for you. And they're like, oh, that's awesome data. How'd you get it? Oh, my agent did it. Like, oh, wow. And so you start with the actual outcome and the results to your business person. We actually did a demo of an agentic system Thursday morning, right, to some executives. And we showed them kind of like, hey, here's what I asked the chat interface. And now I asked it agentically. This is the answer I got before. This is the answer I got now. And like, oh, wow, right? We didn't spend time talking about the how until after we articulated the business value. So oftentimes you might want to build it, demo it, and show that data and the outcomes that you can get. And then kind of the optimization. So for example, the agent we were building had suggestions. So we built it. It's like, this was the suggestion, and it took the action, the top suggestion, and it took action on our behalf, and it did it automatically. So point out those spots, because a lot of these agentic systems are hard to demo, because you see like a chat window, planning, I'm thinking, I'm reasoning, here's all the things I go, then it disappears, then it comes back. It's like, you can't demo like, but you demo the outputs and the results and how it got there. And you go to the business problem, and this is how simple we can get the business problem out, and how quickly we can get it.
Yeah, very well said. Cool. Now, yeah, I know we are inching towards the end of the session, so let's talk a bit about the hands-on workshops. So any piece of advice that you would like to give to the audience here who will be doing the hands-on workshops these 6 weeks? Like, we have planned 6 different workshops on agentic AI.
Yeah, hands-on is super important these days for like architects to, you know, we call it street credibility here in the New York City area, right? Where like, hey, you need to understand how these systems work. Don't make it a race. It's very oftentimes copy paste. I learned nothing, versus like reading through and trying to understand the examples. Really think about each of these things as a progressive journey. You know, I would say start with the fundamentals. Don't get overwhelmed. You know, everything is fair. Is like, understand system prompts versus prompts. Like, get into that. Understand, you know, the very like specific details around it. Focus on the pattern, not just the tool. And so understand, like, I'm invoking a tool is different than an agent talking to the model, and what is the workflow of when does it invoke the model? How does it get the context? Patterns like RAG are still very important. Going through it, and even after you do it, the workshop, like, think of your own example and do it in your own account if you can, and afterwards, and think about real use cases that you would use this for. Leverage a community, like you're in a cohort, so ask for help. Don't stay quiet and get stuck on something for a while. And use AI if you're stuck. Ask AI agents and like see if it can help you get through it.
Yeah, those are the right things. So yeah, leverage the community is one of the most important thing, I would say. So as you can see right now, we have 1,500 people, and these are only the people who are able to join us in this particular time zone. In this batch, overall 9,000 people have registered, and 2,000 plus people will be doing the workshops over the next 24 hours. And we, as all the people in the audience know, we have a Discord channel set up, and there is a channel in their workshop office hours. So for the next 30 minutes, we will be showing you and getting you started. All of you would be getting an email with the event access code to start the workshops. But we will talk about the logistics in more detail. Thank you, Roland, so much for sharing your insights and taking time on a Saturday. I know you have a very busy schedule, and most of the times you are traveling to customer sites. I see it on your Slack that you travel so much. So I'm glad that you were able to take out time for this.
No, I'm glad to be here. It's super important to me that we're able to help the community learn how to be better architects, better builders, take advantage of this time. I do believe we're entering a golden age for architects. Imagine before, an architect maybe would need to rely on a developer to envision their thought leadership. It's the age of thought leadership. Now you can use AI as an architect, almost like a customer deployed or forward deployed engineer that can like think about things, envision them, show them, and then use the the engineers to harden it and get it ready for production. Like, super exciting time to be an architect.
Agreed.
Great. And thanks, Roland, for supporting these workshops. It won't be possible if you are not approved it and your team hasn't helped us. So thank you so much for getting the workshop for this community. Thank you.
And thank you both for running this community and leading this exercise. You're both awesome.
Thank you.
Good to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Ashish, do you want to share the screen now?
Yeah, why not? Let's get started. So a lot of questions are there about workshops, how to access it and all. So we'll walk you through a little bit, and then Prasad and Parna will help you in understanding a little bit more details on that. But yeah, be a little more attentive here what we are sharing, and then based on that you would be able to perform all the workshop. But yeah, it is important that you pay attention to what is being discussed. There are same questions being repeated multiple times, and it doesn't help anyone. So we would request that you pay attention, check the pre-launch videos, and then get the information which is required. So let me know when you see my screen. Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people ask about how I get started with workshops. So this is a flow which you have to follow. This is like step-by-step process you have to go through. So what we do that we don't want to keep a registration of 9,000 people into workshops. So what we do is that for interested people, we send out weekly email. So for every week by Thursday, on Thursday 10 a.m. GMT, we will send out an email which will talk about who is interested in workshop. So for every week there is a different form. So let's say people filled up form for week 1, so they will get access to week 1 workshops only. Same goes for week 2, week 3, week 4. So you have to check out for that weekly workshop registration email, and once you register, you would be able to fill up a Google form. In that form, there are 3 time slots. So we try to create a time slot which are suitable to different time zones in the world. So you should be able to get aligned to at least one of the time slots on that, and then this registration would end on 10 a.m. GMT. So from Thursday to Saturday, you have like 48 hours to register yourself for a workshop. Don't register if you have no time or bandwidth to complete it. It unnecessary waste resources. It is not helping anyone at all. So if you are busy on that weekend, skip registration. But if you can, please make sure you attend that workshop and complete it. Now, what we'll do, like this will happen. By 4:30 p.m., and this is what will start happening now, like 4:30, 4:35, you would start receiving emails. So by 5 p.m., everyone should have got an email about the access code, where access code would be different, and then access code would be used to register and log in into the Workshop Studio account, right? And we have, with the email, we have sent detailed information on what to do and what not to do, kind of a thing. There is FAQ also, which you can choose, check. So please make sure that you read everything before jumping the guns or before just right now diving into Workshop. It is very, very important on that. And once you have this access code, you would have 8 hours to complete it in your time slot you have chosen. So complete your workshop, will be active during your selected time slot what you have done that. So that would be the workshop flow. So to summarize it, you will need to register every week for workshop independently. So we will start registration every Thursday. We'll close the form every 10, because workshop provisioning itself takes time. And then there would be slots, which are these slots: one EMEA and America, America and APEC, APEC and EMEA. And by this, you would be able to get access to start. Now, today we got a little late into provisioning the workshops. Prasad, what is the status? We have got good amount of workshop provision. It's still going on.
It's still going on. In the slot one, we have more than 1,000 people who have registered. So, and right now our provisioning accounts is around 300. So it will take another 3 to 4 hours to provision all the accounts. Frankly, we were not anticipating such a big demand. We were hoping that we were thinking around a range of 500, but in the slot one, we were thinking there will be around 300 people. But we have in the slot one itself more than 1,000 people. But see, the email that you must have got, right? If you click on it, there is a link. There would be
email, Prasad, just to correct it. So as workshop, I was not aware of how many workshop got provision, and people would then start asking questions. So I have not sent just to first 250. I have sent the email. Others are still waiting. So I'll send them once we get little confirmation on, hey, where we are, what is happening, and based on that we will go forward. But yeah, go ahead, for let's explain it like they have received email. What next happens?
So let me share my screen.
Okay. Can I finish few things, and then we can move forward, right? That will be much better. So the thing is, like, you finish your registration process in 48-hour window, and then you get access code, and then you can keep moving forward and complete the workshop. So few caveats which you have to be aware about it, that hey, we cannot extend the workshop. The time frame is limited. There is cost associated with that. So we will be using that time slot only. You need to be aligning yourself with any of these. So should not be there. I again just said that we have not sent all the emails, so few people may have received it, few will not receive it. So that would happen. Obviously, slot email will be sent on those time slots. We do not have sent any email for slot 2 and slot 3 because they are not starting yet. So slot 1 email will be sent out once provisioning happens. So consider like 6 p.m. GMT, you should all get access slot code not yet received for slot 3 doesn't make sense. Your slots emails will be sent when the time reaches on that. So we'll send it right now. How to access it? Email with access code will be sent during the live session. Do not forget to check spam folder. Add support at BeSA program to save senders list, and then workshop will be active for 8 hours in your chosen time slot. So we should be able to get you 8 hours to complete it. So today we had little hiccups into provisioning process. We were not estimating 1,000 people to register for it, and that's why the little delay happened. Probably by next week's we would have more streamlined provisioning happening for the workshop. Now this is the most important thing, that you follow these process for support during workshop. So we have FAQ. The email you will receive will have workshop FAQ, so please read it. As I said before, don't rush for workshop. Take your time, complete it, completely read the mail, and then move forward. So first check the FAQ if you have to any get request of support. If still not resolved, check the solution video. What we have done, we have put it into a video format, the solution of the lab. So whatever you have to do into Workshop Studio once you start the workshop, if you are stuck into a place like you are not able to find an option, watch the video. In that video, somebody has created the whole solution of it. Yes, the video is on YouTube. The link will be shared in the email you will receive. So don't worry on that. So you should be able to use that. If after these two things you are not able to get any response, or you are still stuck, then put your query into dashboard Discord channel. Don't put common questions which are in already in check FAQ or check solution video. Will not answer those questions. We have limited bandwidth. It's Saturday and Sunday. People are working 24/7 to support you. So please be a little more cognizant in identifying common issues and then move forward from there. So this is what the support of during workshop would be, right? So yeah, I'll stop here, Prasad. Go ahead and share your screen and anything you want to talk about.
No, I think you covered it very well. I just want to show a few things on the screen, and probably then Parna can come and also show her screen. But let me try and share my screen first.
While you're doing it, if you miss this registration window, sorry, we can't help. We have limited bandwidth and limited resources as of now. So please make sure for next week onward, you register for these. These workshops are independent. They are not depending on each other. So week 2 workshop is completely independent, though related to agentic AI, but you can do it independently, even if you have missed week 1 workshop. So it should not be a problem on that.
Yes, and on that part, right, that those who have not registered, we will not be able to provide you the AWS account to do it, because we have a limited set, and then we have like provision, and we need to follow our process, right? But having said that, you can always do it in your own account. So if you click on get started, you see AWS hosted event. Anyone who we are giving the accounts, they should follow the process of AWS hosted event. But everyone else who wants to do, they can do the exactly same thing, right? Exactly the same step-by-step instructions in your own account. And there are steps to help you set up the account that we are providing, like the instructions. So if you follow these, your account would be set up, and then you'll be able to do the entire workshop, exactly same experience in your own accounts. Just that the only people who have registered we'll be able to provide them with this. Now, the email that you will get, that will provide a link, and when you click on that link to access, obviously read before accessing the link, do read the FAQs. So you would get a screen like this.
Can you zoom in a little bit, Prasad?
Yes, I'll zoom that.
Makes sense. Yeah,
right. Now use this option to email one-time password. We have the access that you are getting is tied to the email with which you have registered. Right? So do use this and enter the same email address, and you will be able to get the OTP, and you will be able to access the workshop. I'll show that in a moment. It's very important that you use the same email ID, otherwise you'll not be able to access. There is a possibility when you click on access. So once you click on this, and then it will ask you for access code, you will be providing the access code. It's there in the URL itself. Then it will ask you to review and join like this. And once you click on join event, it might give you an option that the event is at capacity. Please contact administrators. If that happens, that means that the accounts are yet being provisioned. As we said, like we got late in provisioning the accounts. The demand is more than we thought. So it will take another few hours, 3-4 hours to provision entire accounts. And it's so if that error comes, then wait for a couple of hours and then try again. It should be all fine, right? If you have your own accounts where you would like to do, you can skip this step and do it in your own accounts also. That is also completely fine. Now, when you click on this, you need to obviously agree with the terms and conditions, obviously go through this account and join the event. Then you would be getting the instructions about how to do it, right? Now, to access the AWS account, it is there in the FAQ, it is there in the workshop instructions everywhere. You would be able to go from here, open AWS console. For the content, you can see, click here, get started. So I'll open the console. So this is the console that I have, but here, if you see get started, you get started, and this is where you start reading and understanding. And this is very important what Roland mentioned. Do not rush it. Understand what exactly is done. But what is very important is that, and this is what Parna will walk through in a moment, follow the steps very carefully. Do not skip the steps, because if you skip the steps, then it is, something would not work. Most common questions that we will receive, that we have received in the past, based on experience working with customers and at events like reInvent, is that few of the people miss the task, and then it gets very difficult. So try and be as slow and go through it step by step. It is also, account is very restricted in terms of what you can access and use, but please ensure that you're not doing anything additional apart from what is mentioned in the workshop. It's very important, because we do also have a budget. If anyone is going to go over budget, we would get alerts, and the entire workshop has to be shut down for everyone. That is very important. The workshop studio team is monitoring it, and they do have the alert set up. And if we cross the budget threshold that has been approved in terms of how this,
How many
accounts,
hours we have to run these and all this?
how these accounts should be used. Like, for example, the model that is mentioned, you should be using only that model. You should not be using any other model. The services that are mentioned in the workshop, you should be only provisioning those services. Do not go to EC2 and start provisioning some other things, right? Please do not do that. If that happens, obviously we'll be able to track it with the email ID of who has done it, and they will be barred from future all workshops. But also, we will have to shut the workshop down completely for everyone in the community because of the alerts. This is something that we do for customers, and we are opening it for community. So please be very careful in doing it, right? It's a request from us so that all of us can have a smooth experience for 6 weeks. Means all the volunteers that you have seen today, we were all up all night setting up the whole accounts, right? Because of the kind of demand. So do respect that, the kind of effort and the time the volunteers are putting in. With that, I think I will, go ahead, Ashish.
Yeah, a few more things. Like, see, badges are not tied to workshop. So even if you're not able to complete workshop, but if you pass the knowledge check, you will still get the badge. So don't worry on that, right? Now, time slot which is given to you is 8 hours. For this particular time, we will extend it to 10 hours so that even if provisioning delays happen, you would still have sufficient time to complete it. But we cannot go beyond 10 hours. So be aware about it. If you face issues in workshop, try to deal with the FAQs we have, put request into Discord. But even if we are not able to help you out, we cannot re-provision the workshop. Obviously, there is a cost associated of it. People who want to do it in their own account can do it. There would be cost, so be aware about that thing, right? Should not be a problem. But we are trying our best to give you the environment, so don't misuse it, don't overconsume it, don't just take workshop for sake of it. If you do not have time, skip that workshop, go to next one when you have time, but do not just block the seats for others cannot use it. So please be little cognizant, please be little vigilant, please be little supportive in what we are doing. It's not an easy task. The first time we are running anything for 2000 plus people in the whole AWS, right? So it's a huge scale we are operating on, and we are not getting any financial benefit or anything from it. It is, we are all doing it in our free time. So just be a little supportive and help each other in community. If you figured out a solution, go ahead and ask this. Make sure that common question which are coming up, like what, when I get email addresses, at least you handle those things so we can focus on the more technical, complicated questions for us, right?
Yes, and anyone who helps the community, me and Ashish have prizes for them. Like, we will be giving away the Cloud Career Journeys book. We will be giving away additional licenses for Viz Labs. So we do have, we will keep monitoring about the community members who are really active in helping others, and we will be giving them the prizes, right? Because we wanted to make it a more self-sustaining community, because we 10 volunteers, we will not be having enough bandwidth to support 2000 people round the clock. Yeah.
Cool. Let's hand over to Parna. Parna,
Yes.
go ahead and give some information about it. I'll go offline.
Yeah, I'll just share my screen, Ashish. Just check that.
I'll add that.
Yeah, if you can present that. All right. So I'm guessing people can see this. Just put a +1. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I think Prasad has already mentioned about how to access the workshop. There are even the FAQs and the guidelines which has been shared several times on our post. Please go and see the pinned post on the LinkedIn group of BeSA. It's a private group. So if you've registered for the cohort, obviously you would be in. You would have joined it. Also on Discord, it's there. So there are FAQs, there are guidelines, but I'll walk you through them over here as well. So once you get access to your workshop, you'll probably see something on these lines, okay? And there's a get started button that you're going to see over here, okay? So on the right hand side, there's a get started button that will take you to the actual workshop with the instructions. And on the left hand side, you're going to see a link to the AWS console. Okay, so use this link to get into your temporary accounts. Obviously, you cannot do everything on that account. It has limited permissions only for things that you need to provision for the workshop itself. So it's not that you can go and create S3 buckets and upload stuff and spin up ECS cluster. So please don't try to do that. You will anyways won't be able to. All right. So stick to the workshop. Access the console from here. You can see, I'll show you also. It will open up into the workshop. Okay, so this comes after, obviously, you've got your workshop access and the event code. Another thing is, I think this part, did you mention, Prasad, about the OTP part?
Yes, I mentioned.
I don't need to go
you can directly go through that.
All right. So I think Prasad has mentioned that. So I'll give you a little overview about the workshop. I will not be doing the complete hands-on. You are going to be given a demo video, which will be shared with you. So if you're stuck at any point, you can go watch the video as well. All right. So what is this workshop about? This workshop is going to give you a feel about how to spin up Bedrock agents. A very simplified example about recommending products. So it is a system where it will suggest products to you. You want to buy a gift, and it will show you items from its catalog based on the occasion, based on the gender, etc. So you can talk to this particular agent, and it's actually going to be doing things like showing you items, recommending you related items, adding items to your cart. Okay, you will be actually, yeah.
Can you zoom in a little bit?
Little more?
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah, better. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So all of you all are going to get these instructions. So don't worry about that. So I'm not reading line by line, but just giving you an overview. So what does it entail? So the first time you're going to be creating an agent, you need to go to the Bedrock console. Okay, so I already have it. Oh, let me go again. I think it's got signed out.
That was happened, right? In the live demo, all the preparation.
All right. So, okay. So this takes you to the Bedrock console, and you need to create your agents over here. I obviously have pre-created things, but I'll give you a rough idea what you need to do. Once you come in here, the first part of the workshop is to get product details agent. It is an agent where you need to create from here. You need to click here. Here is a name that is just randomly generated, but the workshop gives you an actual name. Use as much as possible. Stick to the workshop steps, as Prasad mentioned. Names, everything is given over there. So I'll just keep it simple. So I'll keep it the way it is. Give a description. Okay, so I'm just keeping it the way it is. Do not click on multi-agent collaboration, not as of now yet. At least for the first agent, there will be a step during your workshop where you will be creating a multi-agent collaboration. So do it that time. But follow. If it doesn't say that, go and click on the checkbox. That means keep it default. Okay. If it doesn't say anything, keep things default. So I'll go ahead and create this. All right. So over here, once you come to this screen, note that this is the test area. This is only after your agent is prepared or ready. That's where you test it. So you can close it if you don't need it. And of course, you can close this if you want more space on the screen. Something you need to be alert about is any changes that you keep doing, keep saving it. Like just get it into your system to keep saving it. Okay, it's highly important that you do, because it might happen that you might forget and do a step and then realize that step has not been saved. Important part, after you come to the screen, note that there is an existing role which is already pre-created for you when your workshop was initialized. So you do not need to create. Of course, the instructions are also very clear. It tells you literally which role you need to pick. So this is the role. Okay, so the latter part, the suffix might be different for you, but the prefix product table that you see over here, it will be the same. Okay, so pick that role. It's an existing role, because this is usually a step people don't do this, and then you see an error. Okay, once you pick this role, important thing to note over here is you need to select the model. by default, you can see that it is Claude 3.5 Sonnet. You will need to edit this. You might not see it here. Okay, it's not in this list. You need to pick up Sonnet 4.5. So what you need to do over here is uncheck this. Please note this step. You need to uncheck Bedrock agents optimized. Okay, uncheck this, and then when you go to Anthropic, you will be able to see Claude Sonnet 4.5. All right. So I'm going to select that. Pick the global one. So if you have some awareness about inference profile, because we've got a global customer, so we've chosen a global inference profile. So choose global, say apply. Okay.
Okay, I'll
So,
reiterate this. Sorry, Pranav. It is very important that you use Claude Sonnet 4.5 and no other model. We have restricted other models, so if you choose any else, you will be able to save it, but while running the agent, it will stop working because we have restricted the permissions there. So use only Claude Sonnet 4.5. In the demo video that we will be sharing, which has shown end-to-end walkthrough, we have used Claude Sonnet 3.5 at that time when we recorded it, right? So though the demo would be showing Claude Sonnet 3.5, it is very important that you choose Claude Sonnet 4.5. Even the workshop instructions are very clear that we need to choose Claude Sonnet 4.5. Like we have in the workshop, it mentions. Yeah, if you scroll down, Parna, it does below.
one.
Below that.
No, I think I have that old one. I have it here. One.
Yeah, here it is. Unselect the Bedrock agent and use this. Yeah, that is unselected, and use this. So this is very important for you to do that. Otherwise, you will face issues in the subsequent steps. Continue.
All right. So hope this part is clear. Going back to the steps. So I've already selected that. It will probably give you some instructions to fill that up. Okay, so important thing to note over here is there is additional settings. People usually forget that. So it is there in the, everything that I'm telling you is there in the instructions. But when we read a lot of text, we tend to skip. So I'm specially telling you this in additional settings. Choose user input enabled. So this allows you to do a back and forth conversation with the agent. So make sure you do this. After that, make sure you save it. Okay, so let's see, Prasad, whether I get that error.
You need to probably.
Okay, I'm just putting in something random.
No, you can copy paste from there.
Okay. All right, let me copy paste only from here.
Yeah, scroll down. Yes.
I'll just take it from here.
Yeah, okay. Pana, let's show that. How to copy. So from the workshop, there is always the instructions that you want to do. You can simply copy, use that copy button.
Correct. Yeah. So there's always a clipboard copy button in all the places, even for simple things as names. So like I was telling you, even for names, see over here. So the first agent, there is a clipboard copy button over here. Use that so you don't make spelling mistakes also. Okay. So try to use that. All right. So I've just copied the instructions and I'll just paste it here because it has to be at least 40 characters. So initially it did not allow me. Okay. So if I save it, okay, so you will see this error message, but this is not a showstopper. Okay, I'm just letting you know. Note that after that, you will also see a message that the agent has been successfully been updated. Okay, so this is not a showstopper. We've observed this as a known issue, but it's not going to stop you. So don't panic if you see this. Okay, just ignore it.
It will be a showstopper if you do not see the message after it, right? And that would mean that you have used a wrong model. As long as you're using the right model, it will temporarily show that error, but immediately you'll get another notification which says, at which the Parna is highlighting, that is successful. So as long as you see that message, you can ignore the message. But if you don't see this message, means that's the first sign that you have chosen a wrong model by chance, because I did that I chose Haiku instead of Sonnet, and it showed me that error.
Yeah. The another place you might get this red thing is if you, instead of choosing the existing role, because by default it's always create, okay, and you don't have create permissions. Okay, so if this is also there, you might see this. Okay, so just follow the steps. Okay, so in this case, I'm ignoring this because the agent has been saved. So I'll show you the actual agent that that has been created instead of this. Let me go back to my So this is the one. Okay. So once you create your agent, if you need to go back inside, you'll have to click on edit. You don't get the details page by itself. Okay, so say you're doing a workshop and in between you need to get off your desk and you just saved it. You come back in, you need to go and edit it. You'll have to click over here. Okay, so this is the actual product recommendation agent, which is there in the steps over here that I was showing you. This is the one. Okay, so I've already created it. This is how it will look. I have the instructions. So, okay, so this is the high level, I would say, system prompt or agent prompt. If you go through it, make time to go through it, then you'll understand. So it is actually giving instructions. So what all APIs it can use, what all action groups it can use, everything is in here. So mine obviously looks a little bigger because I've completed the workshop, but it is progressively increasing. You'll keep adding more action groups as and when you proceed through the workshops. Okay. So this is one thing. The other thing is when you're going to be adding action groups. Okay. So remember to save it. And then when you add an action group, this is what it will look like. Okay. You enter your description, the action group name. I'll show you an existing action group, then you'll get a better idea. Okay, so in the first step, you would have to go and get information about each product. So this is the action group it will tell you to create. Let me just close this. Okay, so get product recommendation. So make sure you fill that in. So what happens over here is you can build your Lambda function from scratch, or you can specify the API using the open API schema. You can specify it. So in this lab, we are going to specify the API. So choose this option. And like I said, the Lambdas are already pre-created. Okay, because this workshop is not about teaching you how to use Lambda. It's more about how to create Bedrock agents. So the Lambda functions are created. So select the existing Lambda functions. The names you'll see over here, they are pretty intuitive. For example, you can see get product details, so you exactly know which one to choose that one. Okay, next you have to define the schema. Okay, because the Bedrock agent will need to know which API is for what purpose. So make time to go, do not just copy paste, take some time to go through this API. You will really understand why the agent is going to pick a particular API. For example, you see when Ashish and I were taking up the technical session, and I asked him, like, how does it know which tool to pick, right? So this is where it comes to know, right? If I am asking the agent a question that show me some products for a birthday party, then it knows I need to look at this API because of the summary and description over here. So make some time to look through it. All the parameters, everything is mentioned here. Ashish, you want to say something?
No, we are almost like on time, so I want one more minute. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you mentioned the API and save it. Okay, so after everything is saved, the important part over here is coming back. Okay, so I'll just save it again. You need to prepare. Okay, so make sure that you prepare. You cannot directly start testing any agent. It has to be prepared. Okay, you've just saved the configuration. The agent actually has not got deployed with the changes. So make sure you click on prepare. Once you prepare it, it is ready to be tested over here. Okay, so this is your test playground. Make sure you open it and test it, because you'll have a better experience looking at the traces, because the traces is the part where you get to see what is happening. Because we don't have so much time, I'll directly go to the larger agent that we have, so I can show you more. How much time do we have, Ashish?
You're over time, Parna, already.
Okay, 1 minute. Let me just show it here. This is the first agent that was get product details. So if I just say hi.
I think all this is covered in the workshop instructions pretty well. Like, if people follow,
Exactly. Details are there. If you follow instruction, you should not hit a problem. We tested this workshop multiple times today also.
Yeah.
So there are no internal issues in workshop. If something is wrong, 99% chances are that you have missed some instruction, or you mistyped something, or you have made some mistakes. So follow through, trace your steps back, and you should be all good to move forward with it.
Yeah. So just the last thing, everything is there in the workshop, like instructions, like Ashish and Prasad said. Make sure you look at this, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense, because you will not understand how the agent is working. So you can look at the exact trace and the thinking over here. Okay. So this is the tab. Make sure
Sorry,
you
my
go through
mistake.
this.
Yeah.
Ashish, you shared the wrong screen.
Yeah, my mistake. Access is shared something. Let me add Purna's
We are
screen time.
all overworked and tired.
Too much.
So yeah, so make sure you go through these traces and try some few combinations to see how it's thinking. Otherwise, I think everything is quite clear in the workshop. Anything I missed, Prasad, do you think?
No, you covered all of it, right? So, and rest, if you face any issues, post it on the Discord channel. Anyone who is able to complete it first, help others when they
Help
post questions
others.
in the Discord channels, right?
Right. So there are a lot of repetitive questions. So if you know the answer, please help us.
90% question are repetitive. So if you could do that, it would really help us. Now, I want to highlight that slot 1 emails have gone out. That doesn't mean that all the workshops are right now provisioned. So it may happen that you may get an error, say that event is at capacity. So just wait for some time and you would be able to get into the event. We expect everything should be provisioned in a couple of hours and we will extend the time. This is the email which has been sent to everyone who registered for slot 1. Slot 2, slot 3, you will get your email in due time before your slot starts. So don't worry on that. But be aware, we have detailed instruction here, like follow the workshop instruction. This is a getting started guide we talked about. There would be a link for launching your event. If the link doesn't work, you can open Workshop Studio and enter the code which is also there. And then this is how you should look for support. Check FAQ, check workshop solution video, which is also live. And then third says message is there. Saying it again, everyone who registered for workshop for slot 1 have received workshop instruction. If you have just registered for BeSA but not registered for workshop, you will not get email and registration for this time has closed. Check your spam folders. The workshop email should be there. Everyone has received the email, hopefully. And if you got that email, give me a +1 in the chat. That gives me indication that yes, people are receiving the emails which we have sent on that. Okay, so I'll stop here. Hopefully everything is okay and doing fine.
Yeah, just I'll
Anyone?
add to that. I think you mentioned it. I'm not sure. Only slot 1, people who registered for the time slot 1, only their access codes have
Emails
gone
are.
out. If
Yeah,
you
exactly.
selected some other time slot, that's why you mustn't be seeing it. So just make sure.
Exactly.
So check back later.
Yeah.
And add BeSA email address in not spam, add it into safe sender list. A lot of you have getting this into spam folder somehow. But yeah, emails have been sent. Everyone in slot 1 should have received email. If still not figured out, you have to check spam. We cannot send individual emails, so it is very difficult. We cannot send individual emails even if you ask us. The system doesn't allow us. So
Yeah, system doesn't allow, exactly. And anyone who has registered and not getting the email, all we can at this point say is sorry. You can always do the workshops in your own account. I know it's not easy, and it will be some cost. Should not be much, but be aware of the cost. Put the alerts and do the workshops in your own account if you're not received the email or you forgot to register, right?
And the beauty of YouTube is that you can watch it again. So whatever instruction Parna shared, check that. We already have a solution video which is there into the email we have sent. So check that solution video. Try to figure it out rather than just raising a question. You learn more when you start troubleshooting things, right? You will get more insights on it. So try to solve problem as much as you can. The workshops work fine. We tested it technically. So whatever is happening, probably you miss some steps or maybe misconfigured something. How much does it cost to deploy on your own account? We don't know that. It depends on multiple factors, which regions you are deploying it, how long you are keeping it. But most of the workshop, if you follow instruction, they should be costing some few dollars, probably within $10 or $20. But we do not have exactly on this. Link for workshop for your own account, I shared it. I'm sharing it again here. So please bookmark this link. This link will help you to launch this workshop on your I don't know why my YouTube link got discarded, but yeah, we will share it in the send it on that.
Let me do
What
that.
do you mean? The workshop.
Yeah. Last question I'm taking, and then we'll go offline. When I will get the slides? So yes, you will be sending the slide links to you maybe in 2 days' time, Monday or Tuesday. You should get it. But YouTube is always there, so you can go ahead and access it. Should not be a problem. Links in the email are not working. Probably you're doing something wrong. All of have received the email. Nobody has complained about it. So just check your browser. See, these common questions, I would request you sort it out rather than raising it here. We are answering 1,000+ questions here, not humanly possible for 3-4 people. So be a little respectful. Check your questions, and then still can't figure out, then raise it. Thank you. So everyone, thank you so much, and hopefully you have learned something. If you have any feedback, any suggestions, we would request you to share that. And please spread the word. Registrations are still open for the BeSA sessions. Workshop 1 registration got closed, but workshop 2, 3, 4 will still be open when the time comes. So make sure your friend, family members join it and learn from it. Prasad, you wanted to share something?
Yeah, a couple of questions that I'm seeing very continuously coming. Is the workshop going to be open for 8 hours starting from now? Answer is yes, and we're going to extend it for 2 more hours for people who will, because the provisioning is late. Yes, the answer for that. Second question there was that I show. The knowledge check. If the people who are doing the workshops in their own accounts, doesn't matter where you are doing the workshops, knowledge check is completely different. And that is why I request everyone to please see the pre-session Q&A that we did. It is again on the YouTube channel. We have explicitly mentioned that doing the workshops and the knowledge check is completely different. For knowledge check, the quizzes would be live within 24 hours on the Tech Creator platform. All of you would be getting email from the Tech Creator platform to onboard on that. We already onboarded all of them who registered till today. And from there, you'll be able to access the quiz and do the quiz. Once you do, it's a 15 questions, 80% passing mark. Once you do that, then you will get the badge.
One more thing, do not share your access code on public domain. It's not intended for that. This will just harm everyone's ability to do workshop if somebody finds it out. So please be respectful for the people who made this thing available.
Yeah, if it happens, just remember.
Not anyone can get it. Like if it is gets misused, Workshop Studio team will stop all the workshops for us. So be little respectful for others. Do not share it publicly. No need for it, right? It is just 8 hours. This is for your learning. People pay money to go to reInvent and submit, and then they get this experience. You are getting it for free. Make the most out of it. Do not misuse it. Thanks, everyone.
Just 1 minute. I just want to clarify one step, because most people are getting. See, there is a process. You have to register for the BeSA cohort. Once you register for the BeSA cohort, you get entry into the Discord as well as the private LinkedIn group. Okay, these are the places where all announcements happen. So if you've not registered for the BeSA cohort and directly come on the live thing, you obviously don't have access to many things. Okay, so make sure you go and register for BeSA. After that, once you register for that, then only you will be onboarded into the Tech Creator, where you have your quizzes for the badges. Okay, so if you are wondering how do I get a badge if I'm just watching this session, you don't get a badge based on that. You have to register for the cohort, not session, the cohort. Then you will be onboarded by us, and then you get to see the quiz. Quizzes are not going to go live before the session. Okay, so if you're seeing notes over there, hence I said watch the pre-launch video. If you're just seeing notes, a quiz will appear after a few hours after the live session. Okay, so that's something to note. Workshop registration is different from the cohort registration. Workshop registration links will come to you only if you have previously registered for BeSA. Okay, because we don't have your emails. How will we send it to you, right? And if you somehow you're missing the emails, please be alert. I mean, we are working on more than 24-hour mode. We are trying to post it everywhere. Okay, please be alert. That's all we can request. Look at the pinned messages or just follow any of us. We'll also be posting. Okay, if it's not on your email, and check the junk and mailbox. Yeah, and what's that option where you can you can unspam
Safe
something?
center list. You can add BeSA program, supported BeSA program into safe center list, so you will not get into spam. So thanks everyone. And if our volunteers are still up on camera, I would like to thank you so much. So I'm adding back to you, Kavya, sorry, probably we missed it. Let me edit, Prasad. So I'll add Kavya to stage, and then Anil is here, Nisha is there, and we other people had to drop off. Obviously, there are a lot of things. Achal, I'll add it to you. So thank you everyone for supporting us. It's been really awesome, and we hope you are enjoying and learning something new. Any feedback, any suggestion, let us know. If you learned something, put it on LinkedIn, tag us so that we know that we are making the right effort. And we appreciate your time and hope that you would start learning about AWS and share the knowledge which you are gaining. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Go ahead, Prasad.
Yeah, I just want to thank again the volunteers. Like managing the YouTube chat of 1,000+ people, it's not easy,
Yeah,
and they have been
not
able to
easy.
keep it up to look through all the messages and answer as much as humanly possible. Right? They are not AI agents; they are all humans, actual humans. So at some point we need to create an AI agent to do that, right? Yeah.
We
So
should. We should.
yeah,
Good project.
yeah.
Thank you,
So much.
everyone. I'll end the stream and we will talk to you next week. And keep your questions coming in. We would be happy to answer as much as we can. Thank you.
Bye.